Hello and welcome along to the Irish Racing Podcast here at andyholdingspeedfigures.co.uk. Andy speaking ahead of a decent looking card at Leopardstown on Saturday, October the 24th. We've got 7 races for you, very competitive as I said, and we've got some group action as well later on the card. Lots of decent handicaps as well, and what looks some good values to be had as well on the card. Starting off with the 120, in which Alara probably sets a fair enough standard based on her run first time out at Gowan when she chased home a useful horse of Ger Lyons' first time out. Just showed a little bit of a greenness in that latter stage of that race, but she kept on quite well without being unduly punished. And Dermot Wells' horses often improve from the first run to the second, particularly their 2-year-olds. Strawn is still 10. Got a sneaky feeling they'll probably race off the inside tomorrow on the soft ground, and that'll certainly help her as she turns into the straight. And with the Oisin on board, I'd expect Alara to go very close to winning that first contest. On to the 155. Tweets that Zorro sets the standard on our speed figures, but got a sneaky feeling that Horoscope could improve immeasurably on her first run at the Curragh the other day. It's quite a hot little maiden, and Horoscope did all its best work towards the back end of that race. Talk about the penny dropping. It was basically clunking down the tube in the latter stages. But when she did pick up, she picked up really eye-catchingly to go through the line, hit the line quite hard, and left the impression with me that she'd certainly be a good deal better next time out with the experience under her belt, in keeping with a lot of Aidan O'Brien's first run to second. And with the yard ticking over quite nicely, they had a couple of winners at Dundalk last night. I'd certainly expect Horoscope, as I said, to improve on what she did first time out. She's definitely going to be wanted middle distances next season as well. So this stiffer test around the Dublin venue will definitely suit her. On to the 229, 8 fillies handicap. The figures pointing the way of Denture Star, the top one here, running a big race. She's been involved in races just out of her reach, to be honest. Last time out, finished 7th in a listed race, a good one as well at that. But this is a massive drop in grade. She's rated 95, and Mikey Shee takes 7 off. She's sure to run a race. I think she's slightly overpriced around about 7 to 1. The other one to mention is Tullipole Annie as well, who overcome a terrible start the other day at the Curragh. She almost reared as the stalls opened, so she did remarkably well to win. And the 9th horse, Amazing Annie, amazingly went on to win at 25 to 1 at Dundalk last night. So that form has already taken a bit of a boost. So those would be my 2 against the field there. Denture Star, the top one, and Tullipole Annie a little bit further down the list. On to the 304. I'd probably go in Reverberation here. Based on his overall track form. He does love it here at Leopardstown, and he was a bit unlucky last time out, got caught out of his ground, which is often the case with him, but he had Angel Polanis ahead of him, and Angel Polanis is a really strong stayer at the trip, and he just couldn't quite get on terms with that in-form horse. Of course, that horse has gone on to win again subsequently at Tipperary, so the form's rock solid. Likely to come from off the pace yet again. I'd certainly expect James Land Reverberation to be right in the heat of battle towards the back end of the race, and again, around about 9 to 2, 5 to 1 on the lists priced up. I'd certainly expect a big run there from Reverberation. On to the 339, first of the group races here this afternoon. This one's for the 2-year-olds. And Carlisle Bay is the favourite here. Did the job quite well first time out at Tipperary the other day, but the time figure wasn't overly special. I think you're probably backing this horse on reputation and the stable more than anything else. And talking of the stable, I do think San Martino is slightly overpriced with Wayne Lorden on board. Certainly wouldn't say that as a negative with Wayne Lorden on. This horse has been very consistent throughout his last few runs. He just got touched off a couple of runs ago at the Listowel Festival by Magnanimous, but that was not a bad run. And the sort he found Thurles a little bit tight for him the other day. He kind of like got stuck out in the wing a little bit and couldn't quite get to the front two, including Flying Visit. But I've got a sneaky feeling he could turn the former on Flying Visit on this more galloping track. He's drawn well, and with an attacking ride and step up in trip, I think San Martino around about 8 to 1 is a decent each way bet there with the 9 runners in that 339. Onto the 415 penultimate contest. Probably my best bet of the day runs here. That's Leopardstown in the shape of Helvic Dream, trained by Noel Mead. Noel Mead's also in great form at the moment, and Colin Keane's on board. This horse got an exemplary ride last time out at the Curragh, dropped right out the back off a very strong pace, came through powerfully in the latter stages to win, I thought, with quite a bit in hand. He's a big, strong unit by power. He's obviously belongs in this kind of grade now. The ground can't be any soft enough for him. He's a strong, like I say, he's a strong traveller. He's got a decent draw to just hug the inside rail and hopefully get a run in the home straight. Hopefully they'll come off that rail and he can get a clear run. But we'll take a good horse to beat Helvic Dream. His speed figure last time out was sensational, and I definitely think he's a horse going the right way in a rush. I'd expect him to justify favouritism around about 9-4 in that 4:14. On to the final race. I'll go with the top one here, Melburnian, who's been knocking at the door of late. She's been a bit in and out since winning the Tote October Handicap here over 1.5 miles last season in a very fast time, as you can see on our sheet. But she's done a couple of good numbers so far this season in defeat. And even though she finished sixth that last time out, it was a Premier Handicap, and that race is chock full of informed 3-year-olds, such as the winner Hazenpour. You had the likes of Red Kelly and Lafayette in that race. So it was really deep with good, improving youngsters in that race. And given that she turned into the home straight towards the rear, and it was a slowly run race and they're kind of quick off the front, I actually thought she acquitted herself quite well. Now, this is a massive drop down in class here. She gets into a 0-80 here off top weight rather than taking on those Premier Handicappers that have 0-100 horses. And there's nothing in this race that has done anything remotely like what she has. She loves this time of year. She loves soft ground. And, of course, we know she loves Leopardstown. So, round about 6-1 top price. Again, another very strong each way bet in the shape of Melburnian in the final race. Okay, that's it. Thanks very much for listening to this edition of the Irish Racing Podcast, and hopefully you can tune in again tomorrow, and when we're going to be covering the jumps card at Galway on Sunday. So until then, it's bye from me for now.